The Gulf Coast Growth Show is sponsored by Chevron Pasadena Refinery and is an extension of the Economic Alliance Houston Port Region, where our mission is to market and grow a vibrant regional economy.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Gulf Coast Growth Show. I'm your host, Jason Lee, joined by my co-host, Zeke Smith.
What's up, Jason?
Great to see you. And I found out today Zeke has tremendously more sport coats than I do, so now I have to go shopping, and that's
Can't say anything off air here.
Yeah.
It's all public.
Can't say it's all public news.
That's right.
So we are joined today by Ross Wycoff, the CEO of Wycoff Development and Construction LLC. Ross, glad to have you today.
Glad to be here. I feel a little underdressed. I feel like I should have more.
No, you're good.
No, man, you look exactly like a guy in construction should look.
Good.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
And we look like
We're overdressed. You're fine.
100% overdressed. But it's almost like a competition between the two of us. So
These are actually my suit jammas. I slept in these. So okay. We sleep here too, so it's great.
So we're excited because we love it when we like to give our members an opportunity to kind of showcase what they do, how they do it, and tell them you guys are new members. And I think it was a cool story. So I think a childhood friend of Zeke's reached out after seeing the show and said, "Hey, we got to figure out how to get my team on there." And then next thing you know, you guys are members, and here you are today, and we're excited to have you.
Yeah, happy to be here.
So real quick, you were telling us a little bit about your story beforehand, but kind of give us a background of Wycoff Development, where it came from, what it's rooted in, and then how you got into the business, and then a little bit about what you guys do.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, growing up, my father, he was building fences and painting houses back when he was 10 or 12 years old. He loves to tell stories about that. Him and his brother. His brother's a little older than him, so he would drive him around town, and they'd go paint fences, build fences, paint houses, do all that kind of stuff. So he got into residential construction starting off and really became a custom home builder. He's an architect by education, went to University of Houston, and started building, really large, big custom homes all around Houston, and really focused in the Clear Lake area. But he's from Lake Jackson originally, and then they moved up to Dickinson and then moved to Leak City. And so really focused in Clear Lake, all around the lake, building homes. And that's where I grew up, going to job sites from when I could walk. I remember, I can still smell the fresh lumber. I can smell the cuts. It's anytime I walk on a home job site like that, it's just something that really brings back memories. So he got started doing that and really did that successfully for many years.
Okay.
Had a business, a company that he built around building homes. And then I went to school. I went to University of Texas, graduated from University of Texas, and moved back to kind of the uptown Houston area. And I had my commercial real estate license at the time. So I started working with a commercial real estate group. I wasn't doing the brokerage side. I was doing the construction side. I kind of had my own company set aside, but we did a lot of work together. It was a great company called Finial Group. They would do a lot of brokerage services for commercial tenants. They'd move into spaces, and inevitably they need commercial work done.
Sure.
So then they had me kind of just, riding along and saying, "Hey, well, yeah, I can do all that kind of stuff." So we did a lot of finish out work, a lot of commercial construction doing that.
Okay.
And about that same time, that was about 2007, 2008, 2009. My dad had been doing residential homes for many years and was kind of getting burnt out on it. It was just the houses were getting bigger. Everything about it was getting more difficult, and those houses were taking well over a year to build. And he was getting to the point where he had a great organization, but he was kind of getting tired.
Customers getting more and more needy.
Yeah, it's all those kind of things, right? It's very customized work, and and he loved doing it, but it was kind of at the end of the road for there.
Sure.
So it was actually a perfect time. That was really during the great financial crisis. So there was a lot of other stuff going on in the market for land, and that kind of opportunities were popping up that we were seeing. And we found a piece of property over in Leak City, right off of 45. It was 20 acres. We had looked at it before the GFC, and the pricing just wasn't right. And then after the financial crisis, or right during that time period, a lender called us up and said, "Hey, we knew that y'all were interested in this property previously. We have now taken the property back. We own it as real estate property on our books. We want to get rid of it. Y'all have any interest in it?" And we started taking a really hard look at it and looking at the price and kind of negotiating back and forth with the bank. And we were able to negotiate a price that really made sense for us at that time to take on that risk. And we took down that 20 acres. And that was our first kind of master plan development.
Oh, fantastic.
Where we went in, and at that time he had stopped building residential. I had stopped working up in Houston, and we really focused on that property. he kind of helped in his the company he had built, helped with all the planning, the permitting, the engineering. You know, he already had those contacts. And my brokerage side, I helped with all of the land, the brokering of the property, selling the property, kind of working on all the sales and all that kind of thing. So that really worked out well. I mean, that property is 20 acres. It's right there off of Butler Road in League City. And I think that we sold out every building in that.
What's there? Everybody who's listening to this probably.
Yeah. So
just give us a visual.
Gosh, it's been so long now. Let me think through it. So up at the front, you've got Elliott Electric. They're the front building right in the front.
Okay.
You had Mercedes-Benz came across. They were on the other side where they had their Mercedes dealership. They came across and bought a piece of property for their Sprinter van.
Nice.
We had Gata USA, which is an elevator company. We had Certified Safety, who had a big presence over in this area. Yeah. We built a building for them, 16,000 square feet over there. So a lot of different companies all through that business park. And I think we ended up selling out everything in about 18 months. Wow. So right about 18 months, we had everything pretty much spoken for. And so, I mean, we hit the market at a really lucky time, right? It was right at the end of the GFC, things that started opening back up, financing started opening back up. You know, this area, oil was still at a point in there was still really high. So people were making things happen and people needed new buildings. And so we got really lucky with that one. And that really kind of shot us off into the land development.
It's always little sparks that help businesses grow.
Yeah, that really help.
People, you know, everyone says it's lucky. So it's like, you know, it's opportunity, luck, all the things, but it's kind of cool to hear a story where a little spark like that, a phone call, there you go, and then you're off and running.
Well, it's crazy. I was in an M&A discussion yesterday, and in the discussion, we were talking about timing of business sales and acquisitions and all this thing. And there is no timing. It's literally like just you're in the right place at the right time, but it's not like it's a strategy. It just happens to be, it's the spot you're looking for. And it's the difference between the guy that started his business 6 months before the financial crisis. And, you know, and he's listening to this and going, that could have been me.
You know, it's a lot about I think it's just constantly always being prepared.
Yeah.
Always be prepared because you don't know what's going to happen. You know, we look at it right now. We look at the market and say, God, what's going on right now? Do we buy land? Do we not buy land? Do we wait? Do we not wait? It's just constantly being prepared for an opportunity. I think that's what you have to do.
George. Your company said the same thing about like buying and selling and opportunities about coverage. Just being, you know, the old Bruce Lee quote, be like water, be ready for any kind of scenario and be ready to react and capitalize.
Yeah, exactly.
Good,
love it.
Good advice.
So real quick, high level, you guys are in the development side, but talk to us a little bit about, really, I mean, I would love to better understand what development is, right? So when people think about what you guys do, so that they understand, I should probably pick up the phone and call Greg for this. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I mean, two distinct businesses. So we have a design build construction company, and we have a real estate investment development company. And they really work together, but they are pretty distinct. So on the design build side, that is where a third party will come to us and say, look, we need this, we need a building built for us. And we can handle that process from start to finish. I mean, everything from, we have a lot of clients that'll come to us when they're just looking at land. Hey, we like this piece of property. What can you tell us about it? What kind of due diligence can you do for us to try to see, you know, what kind of outstanding factors might be coming into play here that we just don't even know about? So we start all the way from that point. We have in-house architects. We work with all of our engineers that we work with. So we can handle everything from that very preliminary look all the way through handing them the keys at the end. I mean, the landscaping is done, the building's done, everything's finished. We're handing them the keys and they're moving in.
Okay.
So that's the design build side. The development side, which is where I now predominantly focus, is we're going in, we're buying raw land in certain areas of town where we get certain clients on the design build side that say, hey, we really need to be in this location or this area. When I hear that, I start looking for different properties. If they need to be there, probably other people want to be in that area too. And we'll go in and we'll buy raw land, we'll master plan it, we'll plat it, we'll put in the infrastructure, and then we'll subdivide it up and build buildings to either lease or to sell.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can we still raw land here? It's crazy.
That's that is becoming the hard part.
Right, shrinking.
What is left is difficult land to develop. And that's what we specialize in. We buy land that has pipeline easements, power easements, issues with drainage, all those things, right?
Water table stuff.
That's what's left. You know, that's what's left. And for us, it is very difficult even for us to do that, right? To go into this. So when I see somebody that has another business and they're wanting to go do something like that, you know, it's a big risk factor, right? There's a lot of pieces that are moving when you're trying to develop a raw piece of land that if you don't understand, that can cost a significant amount.
Well, there's a significant value add in being from a region, understand the dynamics, the connections, the resources, the who you got to talk to's, right? I was just in Newport Beach working with a development group a couple of weeks ago, and in that visit, these guys specialize in California real estate. And everybody's like, who wants to go to California? And you're like, you want to go to California with these guys.
Yeah.
Because they know how to work the California region. They have a whole pocket that they just make tons of money doing it because anybody else that tries to come in there fails. Right. And so it's kind of like what you're describing. Somebody coming from the outside that's like, oh, I want to do this. If they don't understand, know who to talk to, know where to go, they could be it's a huge risk.
Right.
They could be setting themselves up for failure. So it's kind of a token to you guys is saying, hey, we're going to be really, really good in this region, which is a great region.
Yeah.
At understanding it, knowing the dynamics, and it gives you maybe an advantage.
And in our product, we say, we want to be focused in our product. I mean, for the last few years, the last 5 or 6, even pre-COVID, these large institutional grade distribution buildings were really, really popular. Everybody was going out there and building them, and we could have got in that market too, but we kept looking at them. We kept saying the amount of risk, the amount of everything else that's involved in that. It's not our area of focus. So let's stay within our 10,000 to 100,000 square foot, office, medical, office warehouse product. And let's really just be the best we can be at that product.
Love it.
Yeah, I think the professional discipline, like you just described, is super important in sustained growth, because you may pop for a couple of years, but as soon as something changes in the economy, which inevitably it will, and it does here certainly, that can change too, that growth, and it becomes more sporadic. So what I also wanted to pull out of that is that, it sounds like you're trying to specialize in solving complex problems, which is a thematic thing in successful businesses, right? So that's a great niche to stay in. So, hey, you got a complex problem, call us. We will solve that and take care of it for you. I'll date myself a bit. But I was going to say the Winston Wolfe of construction and development, which is if you don't know the reference, it's okay, or the Ray Donovan, if you will, of the problem solver. So
there you go.
I'll date myself, but
pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I was going to date myself because you said if you got a problem, call us, we'll solve it. And I was like, so check out the beat.
Oh wow, that's the hook.
But the hook. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So
Winston Wolfe's from Pulp Fiction, if you guys didn't know. But
very impressive.
So all right. So again, new member. We want to give you. We will have all kinds of cool stuff. The Alliance about new member spotlight coming out. I know we'll work with Audie on that stuff. But give us some big news coming out about Wycoff, what's going on in the company. Obviously, experiencing a lot of success and growth, but focused and strategic growth, like you said. But give us any big news coming out you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, we're just constantly working on keeping our clients happy. I mean, that's our number one priority.
Sure.
Right? We have a lot of clients, like you said. I mean, it is every building, although they might look similar, every single one of them is totally different. Right? It's a ground up deal. We're not producing a widget every single time, and so that makes it very, very difficult. So we're constantly just focused on what it is that we're doing. One thing that we are seeing in the market a lot right now is these sports complexes. We have a number of sports complexes that we have either in design, under construction, or just finished. So it's amazing. I mean, I have kids. I don't know about y'all. I have kids that are in sports, and the amount of money that is now being pumped into these sports compared to when we were growing up is just totally different.
Right.
I mean, I'm hearing private equities getting in behind some of these private sport deals and everything. And I mean, we're building 50, 60, 70,000 square foot just sports facilities. And that's something that I didn't see 10 years ago. I mean, you saw one-off ones every now and then, but now it seems like every week we're getting a phone call from some area of town where, they're trying to build something like that and trying to put it together.
A little different than Baytown West League, huh, Audie, right?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up playing Bayside Little League, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
there you go.
We didn't have these 60,000 square foot sports facilities that, kids spend all summer in now. Working on whatever sport it is that they're working on.
I venture to say ours didn't have 6 zeros in the bill building it back in our day.
Yeah, a lot more than 6 now.
Yeah, no doubt.
8 zeros, yeah.
No doubt. All right, so when you say sport complexes, indoor, outdoor, both, combination, baseball, soccer, all of them just big
everything.
Sport
Yes,
parks?
I mean we did volleyball, AVA volleyball down in NASA at our NASA Business Park. There's 60-something thousand square feet there. They have indoor and outdoor. They have outdoor sand courts. We've got a badminton facility that we're just now breaking ground on down on the south or on the west side of town. We're looking at badminton.
Yeah, I've been there.
Badminton.
It's the next pickleball, man.
Is it?
Yeah, it's big. And then we've got 2 soccer facilities.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It just took me. I'm sorry.
No, I think I think there's different areas of the world where badminton's huge.
But you know what? So it's like cricket. Somebody told me the other day. They're like Janice Burke was saying the other day that they're building a cricket stadium.
Yep.
Downtown.
Yeah. There's a big one off of 290 though.
Yeah,
it's 290, 249.
Yeah.
I saw a big facility.
290. Yeah.
Yeah, so
badminton
all over. Yeah,
I'm game.
But in general, it's just sports.
Right.
Everything. Right. It's volleyball. We have 2 soccer. We have a soccer facility we just bid out on the west side. We have one that we just went under contract to start building over in NASA. Indoor, outdoor, same thing. So a lot of that kind of product.
I mean, it's better than building more screens inside, right? Get kids outside. Let's get them. Yeah,
I'm for it too.
It's awesome. All right, so personal, real quick. You or the organization involved in any charitable organizations locally? I know you've been around. Your dad's been around the region for some time, or not your whole life. So, what are you guys doing with the community? I know you wanted to talk about that.
Well, I mean, we do quite a bit. So, what we normally do is people that we've built for so many people that a lot of them have organizations that they're really proud of and they stand behind. So, we try to get involved with those. So, Whitney Strickland has an organization we actually built their buildings for right here off of Helgra. Wheelhouse, I think you had said
great
knew about them. The great organization there. So, we've been involved with them through the years. Chuck Gussler, another person that we've built for over the years, different stuff. He's a big investor in the area. We built self-storages for him. He has a nonprofit, Interfaith Caring Ministries, that he has that we've supported over the years. So just a lot of different organizations. We probably are involved in half a dozen or so different golf things during the year for different clients that we built for in the past.
Yeah. Are you guys, we've talked a lot about this region, but it dawned on me because I was just thinking about how cool it is that you've built in the region and now you're giving back to the region. Have you guys, how far out are you stretching in regards to your scope of work? Are you like a Baytown or further up north or, give me an idea.
Yeah, no, all over Houston, really. So that's where we focus. I would say our epicenter is the port area, right? So anything from, I would say 288 up to 220 or even I-10. That southeast corridor, I tell people we're not the biggest developer, but we're probably the most active in that area. We're building a lot all over the place. But that's not the only area that we build. We have a project going on in Katy. We just finished a project up, on the north side of town. So we have projects all over Houston. And then we have a development project that we're starting right now on the northeast side of San Antonio. So office warehouse product that we're going to be building over there.
So you're not afraid to go where?
No, I like the Texas Triangle a lot. Obviously, there's a super amount of competition in the Fort Worth, Dallas area, and then the Austin area. So we haven't really seriously considered those markets. But San Antonio, I've always been a fan of, and I have some good personal connections to San Antonio. So we have a civil engineer that I'm a really good friend with, that we partnered to get awesome property over there.
Awesome,
where we developed it.
Yeah. So personal. Ross Wycoff, success story. What are some contributing factors to your success, buddy? What do you attribute getting to both company, personal, professional success?
Well, I had an amazing head start, right? I grew up in the construction business, so I've been on a job site since the day I could walk. So that was really helpful. It was a residential job site, but really it's you're putting components together and you're building something.
You got nails in the baby shoes, man. We got you.
It's all the same, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So pushing a broom through a job site, I've done that for years and years. So that was an incredible head start. My dad's an architect, right? So we grew up everywhere we went. If we're on vacation, we're looking at buildings. If we're driving down the road, we're looking at buildings. So we're just constantly looking at real estate everywhere we go. And then, our client base that we've had here has been incredible. So we constantly we're building every year for clients we've already built for. So every year we have clients that are coming back and building either an expansion, larger buildings, different buildings, moving to one of our business parks, doing something like that. So, those two things, the ability that I had growing up was second to none, but then also just the clients that we work with, the ability to work with the right people that are constantly coming back to us to build.
It's awesome. That's awesome. It sounds like, it's gotta be cool to get to work with your dad like that and just build something with him.
Yeah.
You guys do you have any other siblings?
I do. I have a sister. She lives in Chicago. She works for Google. She works for YouTube now.
Got it. So she's not anywhere close to the business.
No. Yeah.
But cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So you have done the Chicago building, the river tour to see the buildings.
I've been, we did the architectural tour and everything through there. It's a cool place. I don't want to live in that cold environment. The 8 months out of the year, she's sending us pictures of what it's like up there. It's wild, but
January will burn your skin off, man.
Yeah, January absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Well, look, as we get ready to wrap up, is there anything that we missed that you want to make sure you get a moment to capture? Anybody you want to recognize? Anything you want to do before we exit the show?
What I would say is that anybody in the area that's interested in either building or even considering building in a commercial building, we'd love to talk to them. It doesn't hurt. What we tell people is in a 30-minute meeting, we can pretty much give somebody a very good idea of what it's going to take to build a building, or build a project and almost very closely what that project's going to cost. I mean, in 30 minutes of sitting down with somebody.
Wow.
I mean, it doesn't cost them anything. It's
right.
They sit down with us and we've built so much in this area that we just have a very good grasp of what that's going to take and what it's going to cost. And so, half a dozen times a year, we'll sit down with somebody that's already on their second or third iteration or GC, and they'll roll out a set of plans and they'll say, hey, our budget's X and it's been X since a year and a half ago when we started building these plans. And we look at it and we just say, that's 2X of what you think your budget is. And so just having that conversation at the very beginning before they start that whole process. I mean, we have 2 clients right now we're working with that have already gone down that route so many times. And now ultimately they've come back to us because we can value engineer that building back to their budget and then actually get it done. Fantastic. And that's what they need. They need to get it done, right?
So for that person that's listening to this and says, yeah, I need to do that, what's the easiest way for them to reach out and get that conversation started?
Yeah, really reach out to our office. Anybody there. I mean, we got a great group of people there. Websites, wycoffdevelopment.com.
Okay.
You can get a bunch of information off the website and then, call in the office. Everybody looking us up. We're right there in Webster.
Beautiful. Perfect. Awesome. Well, look, it's been great hearing from you. We're excited to have you guys as members of the organization. I think it's a testament to how much growth is happening in the region.
For sure.
What a great region it is. And then when you see guys like yourself who've really started from a home building company to now a commercial development company, building massive buildings up to 100,000 square feet. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? To see that kind of growth and then now have a second generation family doing it in our own region is exciting. It's why we wake up every day. And it's what these organizations go to work to do is support members like yourself. And so we're thankful to have you.
Yeah, we're thankful to be here. Thank you.
And we're thankful for our audience. You guys are always great. You do a great job of staying tuned in and keeping us informed. Again, this is a great example of that because somebody said, hey, I'm going to reach out. I listened to the show. I'm going to reach out. And now the next thing you know, you guys are members and we're excited to have you. And so we would encourage you to do the same. If you're listening and or somebody who needs to get plugged in and better understand the region and or wants to get involved with an organization that's giving back and making an impact and helping create jobs, opportunities, create education in the region, get plugged into the Economic Alliance because we'd love to have you. You can reach out to Zeke or myself on LinkedIn. If you want to give us feedback, that's the easiest way to track us down. And then if you want to go in and subscribe or get connected to all the things that are happening with the Economic Alliance, you can just go to allianceportregion.com.
Got it.
Bam. And we would and that's where you're going to get all the great information. So we'll see you guys next week. And again, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to go to the Economic Alliance Houston Port Region website and subscribe to our channels. And let's pay it forward by sharing the good news of what's happening in our region by passing this episode to somebody you know.